It's been a year since I told my story. If you missed that video, I'll try to remember to have it be the suggested during the outro screen. For those of you who did see it or were there while it was all going down that one time and stuck with me during the struggle and the aftermath of it, I have a little update. As of recording, I have started taking anti-anxiety meds. This is because Ranger thought it would be better for me to go on medication instead of constantly living life being on edge, jumping at every little thing, like the door opening unexpectedly, someone or something tapping or scratching at the doorknob being wiggled, things like that, and running and hiding the moment someone started yelling. The frequent nightmares and flashbacks keep me on edge too, but since taking my new meds, I only have to deal with those two now. I'm supposed to seek out a therapist for a PTSD concern we have, but as of right now, I have yet to make that call. Going on meds was largely suggested because it was getting a bit much to handle, and he hated seeing me like that. A woman who was once so strong and fearless reduced to nothing more than a frightened child in the course of a little over a year. A woman who was already struggling to sleep before, but never needed medicine for it until after the fact because she became too afraid to sleep at night, as every bad thing kept happening at night, was reduced to needing sleep aid on days where she wasn't drinking. Now, I'm a woman who no longer drinks alcohol, but I still need sleep aid to make myself fall asleep. That's not to say last year didn't have its problems either. I originally had no intention of sharing my story. But when I heard that my now former best friend, the one friend if you remember from the previous video, was getting her name dragged through the mud by the guy who hurt both of us, I was quick to make and release that video with the evidence to clear her name and my own should mine be next to be dragged through the mud around town. In a town where everyone wants to be in everyone else's business, reputation is really all you have, and my family has a good reputation, in huge part to my grandfather. But this in the process put my own personal trauma out there for the entire world to see. What happened after that was the thanks I got for protecting her. I thought things were going to be fine from the posting of that video on out for me and that friend. How wrong I was. After the whole thing went down regarding my sister being SA'd, with one of those instances being witnessed by me because the spanking happened in public in a McDonald's in New Mexico, and the other instance occurring when I was passed the fuck out on my sleep aid in the back seat and she was delirious on her medication that she needs to stay alive on. This friend decided it would be a good idea on my own Facebook post comment sections to take the side of the person who committed the SA on my sister and proceed to tell my sister that she was, quote, a waste of air. This is a whole conversation that I have screenshotted and sitting in archives in a dedicated folder. You know you've done some heinous shit if I have an entire folder of shit dedicated to you, so I, and my bullshit memory issues, can be reminded of how awful you are, or can be, to protect not only myself, but others from you. This led to a fight between us because she, once again, was taking someone else's side that wasn't a good person due to their actions towards me or my family. After she told me to my face that she would, quote, always protect me, and that she had been, quote, sorry for not believing me with the dude who hurt us, no less. I told her to fuck off and that one day she was going to see that I was right the entire time, but this time I wasn't going to be there to pick her back up again. Then I blocked her on all socials, issued a ban on her accounts and her girlfriend's accounts, and moved on with my life. Now all I'm dealing with is trying to get her damn girlfriend's PSN off my system because she thought it was a good idea to label my PlayStation 4 as a primary. Bruh, don't set a console you don't actually own as a primary. That's just rude as all hell. After all of that, I started pouring more of myself into my work in an effort to bury all of my pain. All of it. Working on things here gave me somewhere to focus, where I could just pretend nothing but the task mattered. I prayed for all of it to go away, but it was never enough. I always circled right back where I started whenever I was done for the day. Fast forward a month, my mom and I faced being homeless together. Previously was with that person who SA'd my sister, but also promptly before the friend fight, she started a fight with me to claim that I, quote, didn't care about her enough to check in on how she was doing when I was literally looking for places for us. So like if I didn't give a shit, Why would I be bothering, spending every waking moment searching for a place for all of us, while getting things prepped for my absence from the channel and juggling my intense anxiety and sleep issues after everything went down? That was when I blocked and banned her, though I kept screenshots of the entire conversation from my files. I slept in the back seat of Ranger's car for 2 weeks at night, hanging out in the apartment in my now empty old bedroom by day during the moving out and putting things into storage process. Once everything was said and done, I started preparing for a life of living outside until we found a place to live. That's when Ranger's mom came into the picture and told him to bring me where I currently am to live with all of them. I felt bad about leaving my mom out there, but I knew I could push streams of whatnot to try to help her out, so I took the opportunity, happy again that they also allowed me to bring Boomer along to live with them too. Side note, Boomer has adjusted well. Everyone in the house loves him and how well behaved he is. Ranger's mom even said that if I ever had to give up Boomer for whatever reason, that she'd take him. So no more shelter life for that old boy. He's safe here. However, he is still hesitating to make jumps, which tells me he's been trying to fool me into thinking he doesn't need a vet, like he thinks I won't notice something being off. Another side note, if you aren't already aware, my mom did find a place to live, but we sadly had to give up Angel and Vio to the shelter because I was not allowed to take them, and the place she lives at is a one pet only. Apparently, they also don't care or listen if they are listed as an ESA either. So, go figure. I can only hope this two find a good home together. They are bonded, sisters from just different misters and litters. I'm still using what funds I've been making from the channel for Boomer specifically. Food is not an issue because Ranger has taken up that task, the litter as well. Keeping the box clean with my shoulder problems is not a concern anymore either because he has also taken up that task every time it needs cleaning, taking notes from my teachings. So now I have minimal risk altogether of re-injury to my shoulder. Whatever money I'm getting from here on out, for now, is being held aside, saving up for a big vet visit for Boomer. My cat has anxiety problems just like I do, so getting everything he needs done in one visit is key for both of us. I'm his emotional pillar, so to speak, so if I'm noticeably anxious somewhere, so is he. If I'm comfortable, he's like, okay, this place is safe, and then goes off to do his thing, checking things out, and greeting people uncomfortable with like, hello, the name's Boomer. I'm a love bug. Pet me, pet me. However, this is where my next problem from last year came into play. I will not name names here because that is not what I like to do, but someone I once considered a person I'd invite to my wedding as the maid of honor because I thought she was one of the coolest people I ever had the privilege of being related to, turned out to be someone I could no longer trust, think of as my family, or keep in my life at all. This was heartbreaking because I had no idea she had been stabbing me directly in the back for years, being nice to my face and a bitch behind my back, before finally having some semblance of balls to say shit to my face. Yeah, I'll say it. She had zero balls to come at me until she could safely hide behind a screen where she did some pretty heinous shit. First, she chose to attack me in my comment section here on YouTube over me asking for help with making sure I could get that vet visit done for Boomer, because I just simply don't have enough funds anymore. Thanks to the shit that happened that I talked about in the previous video, talking about my life and the bullshit hell I went through. Nice to know this relative of mine is heartless. She told me I wasn't a content creator, YouTube would tell her otherwise because I'm fully monetized, to give up my cat to someone who could afford to take care of him, that it would be a service to give up a cat who doesn't react well to any other person except me, mind you, and who couldn't be adopted out before because he didn't meet the person he needed, which again is me, and proceeded to attempt to dox my precise town location and try to spread bullshit lies about me and my mother. Lies that were created by members of her own family that aren't related to us, because all they know how to do is complain apparently, from what I heard. But you know how rumor-based families are. Can't mind their own damn business. Gotta start drama where there isn't any, and be heartless assholes instead of offering to help like actual decent human beings. Like, I'm glad we live rent-free in your heads this whole time, guys. Real mature. My family never once talked shit about theirs. Except for me right now, I guess. But hey, I call it as I see it. And if she actually does somehow see this and hears me say any of that, it's called respect and minding your own damn business, honey. Learn it. You'll be happier that way. Side note here, if you're gonna be an asshole, I will call you out on it now. in case she's stalking around my socials looking for more rumor mill shit. That's just how I operate now. I'm not that scared little girl anymore that she tried to control all those years ago because she just had to always be in charge. And if she wasn't, she got pissy about it. But I don't have to put up with her toxic ass anymore. One thing about last year is that a lot of toxic people just like her filtered themselves right out of my life when they realized I wasn't putting up with that bullshit anymore. Anyway, so I chose to ban her after that because it was a blatant violation of YouTube guidelines, though YouTube is honestly not great at handling those matters right away, so, this is where Facebook came into play again. Now, I rarely check my Facebook these days, but the one day I checked it, the one day I thought it was a good idea to check in on my family's activities while I was awaiting a video export to finish, was the one day I found those DMs from her. DMs that I screenshotted and dropped as a post on my Facebook page, outing her to the rest of the family. She once again attacked me. She called me horrible, untrue things, which, when doing a deep dive into all of it, confirms that they were just words from an insecure human being projecting her failures onto me instead of doing a self-reflection. The last message was the one that put me on edge. She invited me and Ranger to meet with her in person, where she said she would set up a camera and beat the shit out of me on video for you guys, my subscribers, to see her do. All just to try to show you, all of you, how weak she thinks I am. I reported her messages to Facebook after that, kept the screenshots in a folder, and copied them to a spare USB drive. I should have gone to the police for that one, but my anxiety was running so damn high that I knew going there before I was medicated would make them think I was suffering withdrawal or some shit. I have not yet gone to the police about this, but I still carry that USB drive with copies of the screenshots on it for when I am ready to go. I was, once again, afraid to leave my place of residence, let alone the room I dubbed my safe space. All because she knows where I am, exactly. Ranger once again told me that he'd protect me this time if someone were to try to hurt me again, because if you remember, Ranger knew nothing about what was going on in the apartment, because both me and the person causing harm kept it under wraps to keep people out. I did it because it was my burden to bear at the time. I relaxed a little, but the nightmares and flashbacks of my trauma still kept me up at night. That was when Ranger really pushed for me to go on meds. A month later, I had my appointment, did the promos and stuff I did for LTD, and went on my new meds. Things have been fine since then. Even yesterday, I was told I'm unapologetically myself and I'm not afraid to speak up when it's needed. The day I'm writing the script, though, which is actually the same day, or actually it's the day after that happened. I'm actually recording this several days later. I'm just following my script, okay? Because I got all my thoughts together. But the day that I wrote the script, that changed my entire perception in an hour. I'm in quite a few servers on Discord. But one thing I never noticed this entire time was the positive impact that my actions actually have on people. I found out the night that I wrote the script from Atticus of CRW and Mrs. Tiny U-Taker that Lanale has encouraged them to write more and work towards publishing their own work. That was something I never realized I needed to hear. This whole time, I didn't realize that what I do actually mattered that much. That it actually helped people. Hell, originally I wasn't even going to self-publish Lanale. It wasn't until my mom started delving into Ka and using Lanale as a basis for her character's origin that I became aware of interest in the world that I'd so carefully built in 10 years. So I started LDW, more than just an idea for something to do on the channel. It was going to introduce my world and cast of characters to my audience. To you guys. To expand more on what had been established, correcting some errors along the way, for those who are aware of the world. After, I started making time, real time, for finishing what would become the first edition of Lanale and self-publish it. Now, I'm working on more of the stories and prepping the revised and large print versions of that very first story. At the end of the day, while I do have a part to play in inspiring them, the real unsung hero of that story is my man Ranger. He believed in me and my stories, characters, creativity, and more when I wanted to just put it all in a box and never finish any of it. He encouraged me to finish Lanale. Ranger is the heart of it, my muse, and the reason it is where it is today. Hell, some of the dialogue for some characters is from him. If it wasn't for him, it would have just sat in a box somewhere. Forgotten. So really, it's you guys, Ranger, Kaw, and DWS that got Lunala out there for everyone. Now, where am I at currently, you might be wondering, after however long this video has been so far. Well, I'm still picking up the pieces of my fractured self, putting myself back together, bit by bit. And I'm currently sitting at 7 months stone cold sober as I straight up quit drinking alcohol altogether. I know now that I'm worth it. After seeing the impact of Lunala, hearing wise words from Mrs. Yu about fighting until the end, and just overall seeing just how much I actually matter when I previously didn't think I did at all. I want to finish repairing myself. I want to do more for this channel, and I want to create more Lunala stories and things for other feds like I did in December. For the first time in my life, I actually feel like I matter. Even if it's just to a few people, or a few hundred of you. That what I do is actually worth it. That I can help people for the better. And that no matter what level of bullshit life continuously throws my way, I know that I can come back from it. What doesn't kill me will only make me stronger, as they say. Sorry, I cracked. As long as I still have the ones I have now close to me, I know I'll come out of everything just fine. All I need is my support base and someone to catch me when I fall, or if the armor I wear cracks. I'm not immune. I appear strong, but even the strongest among us can be shattered. You just have to know how to look for it. So thank you, Savage, Badlands, Evie, Phantom, my bestie AJ, Zamus, my mom, Ranger, Shari Cat Studios, Atticus, Blaze Radio, Mrs. Tiny U Taker, and everyone else. There's a lot of you. And I'll be here all day typing all this out in the script, who has stuck with me during all of the trying times. The recovery from alcohol abuse, the current adjustment to my new medication, and just generally didn't give up on me when things got bad. I owe all of this to you guys. So here's to another year of creativity. Cue the outro, future me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.